And we're live.
Hello and good morning and welcome to the Pete Braley Show. This is show number 8, and I'm Pete Braley along with my son Matt.
That's me. Yeah.
Hello. And we have a spunky studio dog with us this morning.
He's not as sleepy as he was yesterday.
No. In fact, he's over near one of the wires now, yes. The air has changed here in southern New England, and the humidity is gone. What they call dew points. Dew points, I guess, are down in the 40s or whatever. So it's nice and comfortable this morning, and studio dog is kind of spunky. So.
Yeah, he was laying low because of the heat yesterday.
Yeah, he had like a lazy day, and it must have been the heat. That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, as of right now, my room is the only one with AC in it because I'm on the side of the house that gets no ocean breeze.
You don't get
the
sea breeze.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So
yours always
my room
goes in
gets
first.
very hot. Yeah, so I get the AC.
And I was talking to Priscilla last night because I can't lift air conditioners anymore. So I was talking to Priscilla last night, and she said that she knows that she needs to put ours in. She said, but it's only the beginning of June. We don't expect it to be this hot this soon.
It is funny, though, because she fights putting it in so bad. But, like, Sunday night, I remember saying goodnight to you guys, and you both were, like, dying in there. Like, even her. She was like, no covers because it was that hot. So
she is a fresh air Freddy.
Yeah.
And she really likes to have the windows open and the breeze blowing in. But, when it gets... And, there was a time...
here we go.
When we didn't need air conditioning here. And I don't know if that's because I was younger and I could tolerate more, but it seemed like we
Climate change.
Oh.
Could be. I don't know.
It seemed like we always had a great sea breeze, but even now, it's just that sea breeze is muggy sometimes. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, good morning and welcome to the show. We learned a valuable lesson this morning.
Yeah.
And that is, while it's neat to have matching coffee cups, I guess it's me, not so much you.
It was not my fault whatsoever.
I need to pay attention to where I put it because for some reason I put my coffee cup near his water bottle.
Well, every morning I have the same routine.
Yeah,
I've always
do.
been like this. I've always kept the same, a similar routine every day. I wake up, I shower, I get dressed, I take Charlie out, I come in, I make my coffee, and I fill up my water bottle, and I put them both on the kitchen counter next to each other.
Right.
And so there was a coffee cup next to my water bottle. And I assumed this is my coffee.
Actually,
I brought it into the studio.
You had put your coffee on the dining room table,
so I guess
that's what I picked up.
So I guess it's a little bit my fault.
All right.
But mainly your fault. Because, see, here's the difference, though.
What?
I didn't drink the coffee yet. He took a sip of my coffee.
I took a sip, and I was like, because you drink what, French vanilla?
Yeah, you guys drink this weird cinnamon crap.
It's from Cinnabon. I
don't mess with cinnamon coffee.
I love it.
No, it's weird.
All right.
But yeah, he drank my coffee. And we're in a pandemic, so I ain't sharing coffee with nobody.
All right, so what's going on today? Yesterday, we were talking about songs that should be banned, and Baby Shark was on that list. I mentioned a video of my grandson, Liam, and do we have that ready?
We do.
Okay, this was Liam quite a few months ago, because he's much smaller.
He looks really young in
this is a great Baby Shark scene.
Yes. There it is.
Doesn't he have a look at some point where he's like, oh, what are you doing to me?
I will say that, like, it's infectious. Like, I always tap my foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And since we got ready for the show this morning, that's all we've been singing and whistling.
Ever since I put the video in here yesterday,
so
I've been whistling it.
That's known as an earworm,
yes.
which we have now planted in your brain. Have a good Baby Shark Day.
There we go. Okay.
Love to hear from you this morning on the live chat.
Yeah, real quick, Gail G says, "Yay, I made it. Woke up in time. Can y'all change the time to 10 o'clock?" She said, "Just kidding." Listen, if it was my opinion, we would be going at like 11 o'clock. But this might have been the biggest debate leading up to the show, is what time we were going to do it.
Yeah.
And if we were going to do it live. I know at first you weren't down for the live idea.
Really?
Yeah. I had to fight you on that.
I don't remember that.
This was way in
short-term memory loss.
This was back in April.
Yeah.
You weren't I think it was a fact of you weren't sure of the quality of a live stream. I don't think you were familiar with how we were going to do it.
Okay.
So, are you impressed?
I am very impressed.
There we go.
I am very impressed. He put all the. I take no credit. He put all of this together. This was all his idea.
Thank you.
I just kind of sit here and talk.
Yeah.
Which is what I've done most of my career.
I told him I would set it up where all he has to do is wake up, sit in a chair, and talk, and look at this.
That's pretty much it.
And it's actually a comfier chair than I thought it was going to be. So,
got a nice chair
even
here.
better. Justin says legend. Liam is a legend.
Yep.
He really is. We get to see him in 2 days. I cannot wait.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Dana says, happy Thursday, gents. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday
Dana.
to you, sir.
And Gail says, yeah, Josh Groban can really sing Baby Shark. That was great. I told you, if you haven't seen it, go look up the Baby Shark with James Corden, Sophie Turner,
and Josh Groban?
Yes.
All right, I have to do that.
Yes.
Yes,
it's amazing.
Coming up on the show today, we do have a number of things planned. Trish actually got fan mail. She was the first member of the show, and she's not even on the show to get fan mail. Story about vinyl records and cassette tapes are making a comeback. Look at this. We are trendsetters.
That's what it is.
By having my little trusty cassette recorder here.
Yeah.
Got a great idea for a gift from my wife. Her birthday's coming up in August. And, guys, this might be something you want to go with, too. All right? And
I've seen what it is, and I'm not so sure, but that's all I'm going to say.
You never know.
Yeah.
And did you put on a few quarantine pounds?
Wow.
I think I can relate to this.
We're about to make everybody self-conscious.
All right. Those stories and whatever else you want to chat about this morning coming up. But welcome to Thursday. It is June 10th. This is National Egg Roll Day. I love egg rolls.
I have never been a fan.
Really?
Yeah. Because I've tried. It's one of those foods where I look at it and I'm like, that looks really good, and I want to enjoy it, and then you have it and you don't. And you keep trying throughout your life, and I've just never liked the taste of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
National Egg Roll Day. I was going to say, we get Chinese about what, once every 2 weeks or so? Something like that?
Once a month. I feel like we haven't had Chinese in a while. We getting Chinese tonight?
We're due.
Yeah.
We're due.
Trish, we're getting Chinese.
National Ballpoint Pen Day. National Iced Tea Day, which I've never been a fan of. I'm not an iced tea
I used to be really into iced tea.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't really drink it that much anymore.
Of course, down south they have something called sweet tea.
Sweet
tea, which I haven't tried yet, believe it or not.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
I should give it a shot. It's also National Herbs and Spices Day. National Herbs and Spices. And I don't know if you have an herb garden, but Priscilla grows a couple of things. I forget what we have. We have parsley. I don't know if there's some sage out there.
All I know is Charlie keeps trying to eat it every time I take him outside. He keeps trying to. Well, I don't know if you have those. Whatever one you have low on the ground.
Low
a lot of
is
stuff.
What do I have? I have cucumbers low, I think, or maybe zucchini.
Whatever it is, he keeps trying to eat that. I have to pull him out.
But she's got and I just feel weird because she'll say, "Well, I'll go out to the garden and clip off some parsley for you," and it just feels like I'm putting grass in my food, because I'm used to going to the cabinet and getting the spice out and shaking it out,
All right, so I'll tell her to get it and put it in a little shaker just to make you feel better.
Then I would.
All right.
I probably would.
All right.
On the date book, on this day in the year 2000, The Sopranos series came to an end on HBO. And, by the way, I started watching Schitt's Creek yesterday.
That was a recommendation yesterday.
Yep. And great recommendation.
We won't say how many episodes he watched.
6.
Okay.
But, you were surprised at that yesterday.
So
I was on the phone. I was on the phone with Sarah, and I said, "Yeah, I watched 6 episodes of Schitt's Creek today." And you said 6. Well, I was upstairs that long.
Well, that's the thing. So I do still live at home. I'm a legend for that.
He does not live in the basement because we don't have
a basement. Yeah. Yes. So I'm still in my childhood bedroom. But anyways, like this studio is down here, but all my music stuff I keep in my bedroom studio. And so when I'm done with the show, I stay down here and do the show stuff until, I don't know, like 12 o'clock probably.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I usually go upstairs, and that's when I start music. And sometimes you just lose track of time. I guess I didn't know how long I was up there. But, like, I come down periodically and, grab a drink or use the bathroom or whatever. And I came down, and you said 6 episodes. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, how long have I been up there?
Well, they're half-hour episodes.
Less than that, actually. They're 22 minutes.
Yeah.
So, you can actually get a lot in there.
Yeah. And one other note, Prince Philip was born on this day in 1921, and I mentioned that to highlight how close he came to 100 when he died April 9th.
Maybe he was like, you know what? I can't do it. I can't be on this world for triple digits. I've had enough.
See, that's the thing. If I live to be 99, if I died before I hit 100, I would be so ticked. I'd be like, I was that close.
I mean, would you though?
What?
Like,
would you be ticked?
Well, I'm saying like right after you die, you're like, your soul's going where it goes, and like the first thing is like, I'm pissed off right now.
No.
Like not even that you died. Like not even like
No.
I'm pissed off I died. I'm pissed off I died at 99. Before we get to the news, though, we do have some chats. Gail said, Pete, I love how your family takes care of you. We try. We also give him a healthy dose of giving him a bunch of crap as well.
Yeah.
We got to balance it out.
There's plenty of that.
If you're too nice to Pete, it goes to his head. I'm just kidding. Gary says, hey, Pete, first-time live viewer, long-time replayer. Nice to see you back on. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
I love that because that's an old radio line. First time caller, long time listener.
Yep.
So
First time live viewer, long time replayer.
Nice, Gary.
We have fun live, so welcome. Welcome. Dana says, where do you guys go for Chinese? Wame's here in Fairhaven. Best Chinese I've ever had.
It is. And, I spent a year and a half down at Sarah's house, and she told me that in Virginia Beach, and she told me it took them a long time to find a Chinese restaurant they liked.
Yeah.
And the one is, and I mean no disrespect, because I think a lot of people would be like this. Her Chinese restaurant is like, it's not Wame's. When you have your favorite.
It is funny, though, with how competitive this family is, where we now compete over whose Chinese restaurant is better because they claim that it's better than Wame's.
Yes, they do.
And so we not every time, but we get Chinese down there a lot, I feel like. And every time we get Chinese, we always fight about what's better. Andrea says, I'm having an ice decaf unsweetened blackberry tea as we speak. That I don't think I've ever had. The only tea I've ever had is like just
green tea.
The green tea.
Green tea. Yeah.
And then Dana said, chef advice for you, Pete: cut the fresh parsley and dry it.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right, maybe that'll
make you feel better.
It's just a different experience, to go clip off some.
I'm just gonna tell
grass.
Trish not to tell you where she gets the parsley from next time. She's just it'll be in the meal, and you'll never know.
All right, we checked the news this morning at about 8:15 here on the East Coast. Thousands of people, including first responders and Governor Charlie Baker, showed up to pay their final respects yesterday at the wake of Worcester police officer Manny Familia. Officer Familia died last Friday after he jumped into Green Hill Pond to try and save a 14-year-old boy who also drowned. A funeral service is scheduled for this morning at 10 o'clock. Some people are leaving with an unwanted souvenir after visiting some beaches in southern Maine, and here's a look at what they're ending up with.
Yeah, I would like to apologize in advance for this picture. It's pretty gross.
Yeah, they have a black substance stained on the bottom of their feet. The substance, which has been seen at beaches in York County, Maine, was initially thought to be algae. But once a retired oceanographer looked at a sample through a microscope, they discovered that it was something much different. John Littlebridge, who recently retired from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, said it wasn't some kind of algae or an oil spill like you would expect. It was a bunch of dead bugs in the water.
That's disgusting.
The bugs have wings that are smaller than a pinpoint, but when a lot of them are stepped on, they leave a dark stain that is hard to remove. Lillibridge said the bugs are not harmful, and they eventually wear off, although it's unclear what type of bugs they are. Massachusetts lawmakers are considering a bill that would allow a law enforcement dog injured in the line of duty to be treated and transported in an ambulance if there is not a competing need for human transport. Because right now they can't do it. They can't take a canine. Six Flags New England will be holding a COVID vaccine clinic later this month, offering 2 free tickets to the park for each person who receives a shot. The free clinic will be June 19th from 9 to 1. It'll be the Johnson & Johnson single-dose vaccine. Each person who receives the shot will be given 2 free tickets, good for any single day during the 2021 season. And ABC 6 is reporting an office manager at a New Bedford law firm has been charged for allegedly stealing nearly $1 million from that firm. The Bristol County DA's office says 54-year-old Nadine Santos of Tiverton allegedly stole over $900,000 from the firm during her 16-year tenure as office manager. The DA's office says Santos allegedly paid herself $200,000 more than she was supposed to from 2015 to 2019. She also allegedly used $650,000 worth of funds to pay off credit card debts on her and her husband's credit cards.
I wonder how it went 16 years without nobody knowing. And after 16 years, how did they find out?
Yeah, it doesn't say how they found out, but to overpay yourself by $200,000, that's a pretty neat idea.
Yeah.
Not a good night for the Bruins last night as they are done for the season. We'll get to sports in just a moment after the story about vinyl records and cassette tapes. Vinyl record sales surged during the pandemic as music lovers added to their collections, and audio cassettes started to make a comeback too. And you might be able to hear Charlie with a squeaky toy right now,
which is funny because normally he's not able to squeak the toys by himself. That's true. This is kind of a new thing. Yeah, but I think he found it, so we're in for an interesting show here.
Vinyl record sales soared last year, growing 29% to $626 million and surpassing compact discs in sales revenue. People also started buying cassettes during the pandemic, thanks to some help from Hollywood and Netflix. Guardians of the Galaxy featured a mixtape with hits from the 60s and 70s. That's a great soundtrack. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
And that became a chart topper. And Netflix's Stranger Things featured a mixtape with The Clash and other artists from the 80s. They're coming back with another season, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know when it is. I think it's in the fall, if I'm correct.
Okay.
Outer Banks just announced July 30th. That one's coming back.
I have to check out that show.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd put it up there with Stranger Things, but it's pretty good. A lot of people like it. But yeah, Stranger Things, I think in the fall is what I heard last. So we'll see.
I'm getting into vinyl a little bit. Priscilla bought me a record player.
Yep.
That looks.
That was last year's birthday, I think.
I think it was. Yeah. Because I had it down to Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, to put my Fleetwood Mac Rumors album on a record player and play it while I was doing some chores, it was just. It took me back.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like it was so cool to be doing that. I do have to say though that it's more complicated than just going to your playlist. You know, I mean, you go to your playlist if you're on Spotify and you just click this song. If you don't like that, you go next.
Yeah.
Whereby with a record, you'd have to like try to take a look and see where the needle drop.
That's my least favorite part about vinyl is if you want a specific song. I will say, because I also have a record player, and that you guys got me that for Christmas a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And for me, it's more like when I really enjoy an album, or like if an entire album like really like affects me in some way, and I'm like, you know what, I want to get that. And also like I just like the cover art aspect of it. I feel like
that's a lost
with
art.
Streaming, it's just a little icon now. So it is nice to like have a physical copy of the cover art, which I think is a really cool piece of the music experience. But no, I'm with you though. I definitely listen to streaming just for convenience wise. Also, I feel like if you don't have a really good sound system for your record player, this could just be because I have good speakers for my laptop, so I typically play my music on my laptop. But yeah, I do still like getting in it. And we can talk about albums too. Albums are kind of becoming a thing of the past, kind of not. A lot of like artists now are releasing either just singles.
Oh, okay.
Or
instead of releasing
or EPs.
What does an album have? Like 10 cuts?
Album
on
is
it?
Anywhere from
10 to 12.
It's either 10 to whatever. Because I think Drake put out like a 26-song album last year.
Wow.
Or a couple years ago. But no, there's also an EP which is like 4 to 6 songs. I think something like that. But yeah, so it's like albums are becoming rare. It's also rare to have people make an album that's like a continuous theme or like a continuous story or something like that. Like Taylor Swift still does it. Olivia Rodrigo just put out an album, and that one kind of all is around the same topic. Like it feels like an album. John Mayer's coming out with a new album. Yeah. So, But yeah.
And the only thing about cassette tapes, try to find your favorite song on a cassette. You know what I mean? When you're playing it, and say you like cut number 3. Try to find cut number 3.
That's true.
Fast forward, no, rewind. No.
I feel like that's one where you buy it to buy it, and you never end up playing it. Or no, you probably play it once when you get it because you're like, I bought a cassette tape, and then you'll probably never play it that way again.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Real quick, Taylor Cormier says, Max J Records in Fairhaven, tell them me and Scott sent you.
Oh yes,
Okay.
I have heard both of you talking about that. Yeah,
We should go there sometime.
okay.
Gail says, a friend of mine took a bunch of vinyl covers and made a patchwork rug. Really
Nice.
cool. That sounds
Nice.
cool.
The
I'm
other
a big
thing,
fan of cover art, man.
The other thing that has been lost, talking about cover art, is liner notes. Now, when you take the album out, remember it would be in an envelope?
Yep.
There'd be all kind of great notes on there. You might have the lyrics, or definitely the credits, but
like who produced it, who wrote it, and all
but
this stuff.
there might be some hidden stuff in there. Liner that's another lost lost art.
I will say a lot of people are trying, and it's not as good because they like post it on Instagram and then it gets buried, but a lot of people are like posting that on Instagram when they release a song now, because for the longest time it's like in that in between phase when you went from CDs to streaming, like no one really gave credit to like who made the song.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
There's at least always like 10 people in the process of making a song. So
we could probably do a whole show once we figure out. I can't figure out how artists get paid now. Because back in my day, it used to be how many records they sold, but they're not selling
it's based on a stream. It's a certain amount per stream, and each streaming service pays it differently.
Yeah.
Like there's a different. This is a big debate actually on like artists should be paid more, or songwriters and artists should be paid more, because it's like a very small amount.
It must be, because what is it? If I download the right word? If I add a song to my playlist. By, say, Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. Taylor Swift gets a percentage of...
I don't know if adding it physically does anything. Streaming it. Like, if you listen to the song, and I think you have to listen for at least 3 seconds, because there are, like, bots and stuff, so they try and weed that stuff out.
Right.
But if you listen for at least 3 seconds, it counts as a stream, and they get paid per stream. But adding it to stuff like that does help. Like, adding it, pre-saving songs before they come out, adding it to your library, adding it to your playlist. All that helps the artist. I think it helps it get shared is what I think it is. I don't know if they make money off that.
We'll have to look into that.
But then there's like different, when they sign up to release the song through, because you release it through an outside platform, like an outside company who gets it on the streaming apps. They're the ones that collect the money. And also for songwriters, there's like a publishing thing you sign up. It's a long process.
So like when it's all done, she gets 27 cents or something
per stream.
Per stream,
and it's less than that actually. That's why there's a big debate.
All right, I've put off sports long enough. Let me get to it here this morning.
Yeah.
All right, checking sports. Boston Bruins goaltender Tuukka Rask acknowledged that off-season surgery is an option for a nagging injury that limited him in their 6-game series loss to the New York Islanders last night. Rask would not disclose the nature of his ailments after the Bruins' 6-2 loss to the Islanders last night. He said, I don't think that needs to be the headline now. He stopped 23 of 27 shots. Bruce Cassidy, whose team has now lost in round 2 in consecutive seasons, said last night that Rask was dealing with an injury suffered earlier this season, but that Rask said he was healthy enough to play in Game 6. And also another loss for the Red Sox. Jose Altuve and Alex Bregman homered to help Jake Odorizzi pick up his first win since 2019. The Houston Astros rolled over the Red Sox 8-3. Houston goes for a sweep tonight. And just one entertainment story this morning, and that is that Taraji P. Henson has joined the cast of NBC's production of Annie Live. The Empire actress will play the orphanage's cruel manager, Miss Hannigan, who hates all children, but especially Annie. Annie Live will air Thursday, December 2nd on NBC. I know that's way off in the future, but I just thought it was cute to find out that this could, because they're doing a play pretty much every year live.
Yeah, I feel like I've missed the past couple ones. I remember Peter Pan. I remember watching
Peter
that.
Pan.
And what was the other one that I remember watching? I don't think I'm going to think of it right
did
now.
They do
the Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Did they do West Side Story?
Maybe. That might have been one of the ones I haven't seen.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's your entertainment news for today. Yeah, we've been on the air now for 8 shows.
8 shows, yeah.
Yeah, 8 shows. And I'm not saying we're begging for fan mail, but I just found it very interesting that the first piece of fan mail to come to this show was for neither one of us.
No.
No.
I got a text probably about a week ago that said, "Hey, expect a package for your mom." I was like,
okay.
What about me? What about Pete? I'm pretty sure it doesn't say the Trish Braley Show. Although we might have to change it to that because Trish has a lot of fans, man. But yeah, so should we say who it was?
So then I don't know. Has that person?
They have talked. To Trish.
They have released
Yes.
the information and talk because they didn't want us to tell Trish, who's is my wife Priscilla.
Yes.
If you missed the first show, he always calls her Trish.
Yeah.
It just happened. It's not out of disrespect. It's just a name he has for her.
I call people different names sometimes. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. I got nicknames for people. Oh, I should say, apparently in the first show, I mentioned that Trish is the only one I had a nickname for, I think. I said something along those lines.
Something like that, yeah.
Kat was very offended because Kat also has a nickname. I call her Frizz, and I believe that's because
I used to call
back,
her K-Frizz, didn't I?
No. Don't take credit. Don't take credit. This was me.
Sorry.
This was all me. You used to call her like Katie did, stuff like that.
I have many nicknames for.
You've never called it K-Frizz. K-Frizz is, again, it's another one of mine. So this is how it goes. I give somebody a nickname, and then I shorten the nickname over time.
Gotcha.
So Kat used to be Kafresne. Where that came from, I don't know. I think I had a teacher once that had like a remotely close name to that.
Okay.
So combine that with Kat's name. She was Kafresne, then she was Kafrizz, K-Frizz, Frizz, and now she's Frizz.
Frizz.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Sarah also has a nickname. Sarah is Sari. S-A-R, but you roll the R-I.
Right.
She was also offended that I did not mention her nickname. I don't remember saying that I only had a nickname for Trish. I have nicknames for many people.
And by the way, yesterday, he set up not an account, but he set up a username for me on HBO Max.
Oh, yeah.
So that I can watch Friends, and he can watch Friends, but I won't mess up his,
where I'm at in the
timeline.
series. Yeah.
So he set up an HBO Max account or whatever you call it for me, and it's labeled Fat Man.
See, here's the funny part, though. The reason I did it, and Kat was there, and that's probably why I did it. I had an audience, so I had to make people laugh. I had to make people smile, Pete. This is my job on this planet.
All right. That's a good job to have.
Yes, but so he was on his iPad. When he's on his iPad, my man's zoned out of life. I can't tell you how many times every day I'm like, "Hey, Dad, I have this idea for the show." Hey, Dad.
What?
Dad.
What?
Dad. And finally, he's like, "Did you say something? Is somebody talking to me?" And I'm I'm not even upstairs. I'm literally 2 feet away from this guy. But he was doing that thing where he wasn't paying attention, and you can tell when he's not paying attention. He's off in his own world. So I started to type Pete in the little name thing, and I knew he wasn't paying attention, so I deleted it. And I put an F, and automatically Kat knew what I was typing.
Yeah, and Kat starts laughing.
Yeah,
so
but he goes, "What?" And he always needs to know who's laughing. He's like, "What?" But he doesn't look up from the iPad, so he still has no idea what's going on. So I continue to type Fat Man, and Kat is dying laughing, and he finally looks up and he sees it.
I said, "What are you laughing at?" And I looked at the screen and I said, "Oh, Fat Man."
Yeah. So now my HBO Max has Matt and Fat Man. So, but
anyway, we digress. We got to get back to the fan mail. So
I forgot. This wasn't about nicknames.
If Trish has contacted this person, then yes, we're okay.
She has. Yeah. So it was Val. Val's in the chat sometimes. I don't know if Val's watching right now.
Val's a dear family friend we've known for years.
Trish's best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she sent, in case you're wondering, what she got.
I know. I should have had it ready. I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah.
But it's upstairs. I can't get it.
She sent Trish a T-shirt.
Yes.
And it's a black T-shirt. And what is there, a flag?
It's an American flag on the back of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then?
And in one of the stripes of the American flag, it says Trish all the way down. And it's hilarious. It's just funny how I've been calling her this name for, I don't even know, like 5 years. No, into high school, so like probably 6, 7 years now.
Yep.
And now that it's on the show, everybody calls her Trish. Justin said, "Shout out Trish." Absolutely.
Now we've invited Trish to come on the show tomorrow, and The reason we held off till Friday is because she's had a crazy week.
Yeah.
In fact, she's not even home yet.
Yeah, so that's why we'll still say maybe, just because we got to see how bad yesterday was.
Yeah.
'Cause we'll see if she wants to wake up for the show tomorrow.
She worked a 24-hour shift in Dedham last night, so she's not even home yet. I mean, she got off at 7 this morning, and she's stuck in some traffic jam she mentioned.
Yeah.
So
Real quick, I just have a couple chats.
Sure.
Gail said, never play your cassettes without a pencil nearby. Now, it could be because I'm a bit younger than you.
yeah, I don't
know.
have a pencil, but
What's the reference
well,
here?
the thing about that, let me get this.
Yeah, don't spill the coffee.
Save the coffee. How do I eject?
This guy doesn't even know how to use a cassette player. He's not even good at being old.
I'm not even good at being old.
Yes, it's the stop button again. Hit the stop. Is it the stop button?
There it is. All right.
There we go.
Yeah, it was. You're right.
I would like the record to show I knew how to eject the tape, and he did not.
I'm sorry. Stage fright.
That's what it is.
The thing about a cassette is that one of the I don't really want to do it because I don't want to damage this.
Just tell me.
One of the hazards of a cassette would be that the tape would sometimes get jammed, or it would get pulled out a little bit. So the thing about a pencil is you put I used to do it. You put a pencil in here and you wind it back.
So instead of doing it in the rewinding it that way,
right? Or if the tape jams or something, you always want to have a pencil handy so you can. Or my pinky actually fits perfect.
My gut reaction was that it's had something to do with how you don't know where the song starts and stops. I didn't know if you could mark it in any way. I was that's crazy.
One thing we used to do is if you found the song you like, as soon as it starts, you would stop it. Then you take it out and you would cue it up. So now it's ready to play. It's right on the song.
There you go. If you're trying to press a girl or something, get that song queued up.
Thank you very much for that piece of it. Look, I pushed the right button this time.
There we go. Yeah. He's learning, guys. We're going to train him. We're going to make him a valuable human. Justin says, don't forget to like the stream if you can. Yeah, liking the stream definitely helps. If you guys could if you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe. And when you click the subscribe button, there'll be a bell next to it. Hit the bell. I promise I'm not doing this to annoy you, but it'll notify you every time we go live. So hopefully, if you ever want to catch the show and you're like, I missed it, hopefully this way you won't.
Right.
Let's see. Lori says Tuca should have been kept out last night.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I am a fake Boston fan. I didn't watch the game last night. The CMT awards were on, so I chose that over the game.
I'm sorry. I watched probably until it was 3-1.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you had to go to bed. We got a show to do. We got to be awake for the people.
I mean, if Tuca really had an injury, and you're not, I don't know any athletes that's going to say in an elimination game. I don't know any athlete that's going to say, "No, coach, I can't go tonight."
Yeah,
they're all going to tell you, "I'm good."
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what else we got here. Kat said it was pretty funny, Dad. Yeah, it was. Kat was laughing.
Fat man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was laughing, and I'm like, "What are you laughing?" Oh, fat man.
I do have to say that's the one thing that I miss about having siblings at the house is I no longer have an audience now. So when I make fun of you guys,
and being the fourth, you always had an audience.
Yes, yeah. I have. Okay, I don't know if I should say this. I've been holding on to a song for a long time, and it's like my favorite thing I've ever written, and it references being the youngest, and it's something I'm so proud of, but I've been I haven't found the right time to show anybody. So that was quite the tease. But I
why haven't you found the right time to show anybody?
Because it's about family, and I feel like it should be played for the family first, but our family is not together that often. So yes, but we're all going to be together in July, so maybe
that's right.
Yes, that was quite the. I shouldn't have said that. That's quite the tease. Now nobody knows what I'm talking about.
No, now everybody wants.
I've been holding on to a secret.
Everybody wants to hear the song.
I know it's right. July, guys. Maybe
the reason we mentioned July is that Bridgewater State University is having their graduation for this year and last year.
Which Kat graduated last year, and I graduated this year, so it's both of us.
It's at Gillette Stadium on July 30th, I think.
I think so. Kat was supposed to be the 30th. I was supposed to be the 31st, but luckily they're letting us do it on the same day.
Last year's class, which didn't get to graduate, is being invited back on July 30th, and then your class is scheduled to graduate the next day.
Yes.
But I didn't even know they were doing this. Was it your idea? Kat's idea?
I think it was Kat's. I think it was Kat's idea.
They
we kind of did it together. Though.
They wrote to the dean, or
no, to like the
higher
graduation committee.
They wrote to them, and I didn't even know they were doing this. They said, I'm supposed to graduate this day, and my brother the next day. That would be too much for my father, who's after the stroke, and it would be too much.
2 full days at Gillette Stadium. Which
to go to Gillette. Number one, I'm going to use my wheelchair because I just can't. I can't do all that walking. So they said it would be too much for him to make this trip and
it's also in the heat of the summer. So you'd be spending 2 days out in the summer heat at Gillette Stadium.
I'd be trash for a week.
Not alcohol trash.
No, I would be exhausted.
That would probably be better for him if it was that, but that's not.
So they asked if they could walk together, and after consideration, they said yes.
Yeah.
So
I'll be graduating with the class of 2020.
Look at that.
Hopefully they don't forget, and I'm just like, hey, can you say my name real quick?
And by the way, we talked about this. We are going to have a graduation party on the Sunday of that weekend.
Yes.
And so Matt came in my room the other day, and he said, "Yeah, so the next day we're going to take off."
Yeah, we're not gonna do a show that Monday. You guys don't need to worry about that right now. We got a ways to go, but we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
We do have a little bit more here. Dana said it was a long shift. All right. Well,
thanks for the warning.
Yeah. Now we'll tread lightly when she gets home.
Yeah.
Lori said, "Trish is awesome. I'm happy I maybe met her in high school and we reconnected in EMS."
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
She said met not. Yeah. All right. So glad she met her in high school. That's awesome.
Very good.
Justin said, "Show us on the show."
The song?
Oh, the song. So I'll probably do it off the show, but I'll try to record it and maybe we can play it on the show.
Okay.
Hopefully I don't cry. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. Gail said, "What a great way to keep us waiting until July." I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have mentioned it. I've had the song for like a year now, and it's
This is called The Art of the Cheese.
Yeah. Normally I don't like doing that, but I've been holding on to the song for like a year, so I just want to just play it, but I can't.
All right.
Actually, I did play it once. I tested the song at a cookout that I played.
Did you really?
It was the end of the cookout when there was probably like 5 people there, and they were all probably really drunk.
So if I text Mike, it was at Mike's. If I text Mike, he's not going to remember.
They were they were probably already way too drunk to remember, so I knew it was okay. But I played it, and they really liked it, and they were the ones that said, "You need to play this don't play it again until you can play it for the fam." And I was like, "That's true."
All right.
But it's a really good song. I like it. But yeah, so I'm sorry about the tease. I shouldn't have done that.
Gave us something to talk about.
There we go.
Fine.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you think? Did you add some quarantine pounds? The CEO of Levi's says about 25% of buyers need a different size jeans, and some of them need a smaller size.
Yeah.
He estimates that customers are in need of a new size on the other side of the pandemic, either bigger or smaller. He said the number of people who are in a new size is pretty staggering. I guess that's big in the fashion industry. 25% of buyers needing a different size.
Well, that's really good for the fashion industry.
Yeah.
They're buying new stuff.
He said that some people gained weight during the pandemic. I probably gained I feel like I gained a couple of pounds.
I think I did, but I think I'm pretty much reverted back to where I was before.
He says some people gained weight during the pandemic, and many people lost weight. So
it is. I mean, we were talking about this because we were like, "Wait, lost weight? Like that doesn't really make any sense." But it is kind of crazy how taking you out of your normal lifestyle just changes you in whatever way it is.
Yeah,
it's because you're used to like taking a certain amount of steps every day. That was me. Was I no longer like had to work, and so the difference of my steps when I work and when I don't work is like crazy. So it's like when you're not taking that many steps, and you spend a lot more time sitting down, and so it's crazy. Like if you just pull people out of their lifestyle,
and you were
doesn't
home,
have a good effect.
You were home to have breakfast instead of you maybe grab a
banana or granola
energy bar,
or
banana when you head out to school or something. So I don't weigh myself anymore. I can't
haven't
tell
in a
you
long time.
The last time I weighed, the last time I really got weighed was at the doctor's office.
And are those accurate?
I mean,
I don't, especially the height thing. don't like.
You
I
think
feel
the
like
height's off?
I feel like I've been done growing, but I feel like I've been like 4 different heights for the past 4 years. And it goes up and down. Like I haven't shrunk, I promise you. But like I'm pretty sure I'm 5'11" and like 3/4. So I tell people I'm 6 feet because why would you tell someone you're not 6 feet?
Right,
You know,
right.
round up. But yeah, I don't really think those are accurate.
And does anyone have a doctor's office that when they weigh you, it comes out lower than you think? Because mine always comes out higher.
That I don't remember.
I mean,
I don't know.
Well, I'll be honest. I have always been honest on the show, on the radio, so I'll be honest with you. Last time I went to the doctor, which was last month, for a physical, they weighed me and they said 207. And I said, what? Because I always thought I was like 200, 190. You know, I was like right around 200, but their scale says 207.
But
I'm
it's
like,
also
what?
funny because I was going through old pictures. Back when I was trying to figure out the details of the trailer, I was going through old pictures in a scrapbook to see what I maybe would use. I didn't use any of them, so it was a waste of time. But I found a picture of you when we went to Washington, D.C. in... The year was on there. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was like an April vacation.
Yeah, I'm just going to randomly say like 2007. I think
Sounds good.
it was 2007.
Sounds good.
That sounds right now that I say it. And I said to you, which I think is a compliment because now you don't look like that. But I was like, hey man, you were pretty chunky back then.
Some of those, I could see my face.
You also only had a mustache. I will say that. So
Okay.
maybe the beard's hiding a little bit.
All right.
I don't know. But the reason I brought that up is you said back then that was like 215.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way you're 207 or
Yeah.
whatever they said because you were way bigger back then than you are now. So there's
yeah, I
no
think
way that's
215 was the most I've ever had.
Sarah cracked the joke that maybe it's all the metal you have in your body, which I think is valid. Metal's probably heavier than a bone,
It's
right?
titanium.
Yeah.
I am
so,
the titanium.
Iron Man.
If you don't know, I've got two metal shoulders, 2 metal knees, 2 metal hips.
And you also forget to mention every time you bring up the surgeries that you got a metal hip replaced. You got like a new metal hip at one point. So I feel like you forget that surgery
that's true.
when you're talking about your surgery.
That's true. So there's been 9 surgeries.
Yeah.
And
so
not
2
8.
shoulders,
Yeah.
2 hips, 1 knee, did you say?
No, both knees.
Both knees?
Both knees.
Yeah.
But
And a hip.
my right hip squeaked.
Yeah.
After
It was funny.
Yeah, it was funny because I could walk, and I would always tell the doctor this, and he was like, what are you talking about? So one time I went to Dr. Klein.
Shout out.
Shout out. One time I went to Dr. Klein, and he was frustrated because he couldn't find anything wrong. So he looked at me, he says, come with me. So we walked up and down the hallway at Hawthorne Medical.
Yeah.
And sure enough, at one point, my hip squeaked. And it had something to do with the metal ball on the ceramic cup or whatever. So they went back in and replaced replacement.
He had his hip replacement replaced. And it's funny because I don't know if this is gross, but you have the old hip.
The
somewhere.
old replacement.
Yes.
Yeah, he gave it to me. I have it upstairs.
Yeah. So it's literally just a ball in like
in a cup.
in a cup.
Yeah.
It's like the ball and cup game,
It's
except it was a hip.
There you go.
Yeah.
And there's no string on it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back to the pandemic. Did the pandemic change you? A survey by Oracle found that 86% of respondents said the pandemic changed their personalities and changed it for the better.
Interesting.
Becoming more conscientious came out number 1. Open to new experiences was number 2. They were the most common personality changes, followed by being more agreeable. Which...
Who's, like, where did that come from? Okay, this is my bone to pick with these surveys, man. Like, who filled out the survey and they were like, have you changed in the pandemic? And they're like, yeah, I'm more agreeable. Like, what is that? How do you know that? How do you measure that? How do you know if you're more agreeable? The only thing I can think of is, like, from being alone, they'll now, like, agree to any plans. That's the only thing I can think off the top of my head. That's the only thing I can think of.
Because it would go the other way, that you were more frustrated because of the fact that you couldn't do this or that, or you know, I can't go out, I can't go to the movies, can't go to the restaurant.
Yeah.
But anyway, do you feel that way? Do you feel that the pandemic? I don't know. You think it changed you in any way? I was kind of isolated, really, from the whole thing. It was just me and Liam. living in our own world.
I will say, I don't know. For the better, I don't know. I mean, I spent a little more time on music, I guess.
Yeah.
But then school came around and crushed that dream. But the only thing I can think of, I don't know if anyone else feels this way. And, I mean, this is something we're just being honest on today's show. This is something I've kind of always dealt with my entire life. But I feel like, especially after the pandemic, I had a little bit more social anxiety. Like, going out was, like, just super strange. Like, to start going to work again. So that was like a little bit of a weird
I've heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah. Diane said, I gained about 5 pounds of wine weight. I mean, hey, there was nothing else to do but drink. I wrote like a funny song about Corona way back when it started. And that was one of the things. I forgot what the line was.
Was that the one? Oh, the one that you wrote with Steve asked you to write that?
Yeah, something about drinking all day is what I put. She also said it depends on what time of day you get weighed. Sometimes. We have a guest.
Trish is home and Charlie's wagging his tail.
You got home quick. Oh, don't pee. Don't pee. Oh, he's peeing.
Charlie gets so excited.
Every time, man.
He gets so excited he pees.
You know what I think it is? Well, okay. And also, Trish is like risking it all right now. She picked him up while he was mid-pee.
I thought she waited.
Why would you do that? You're wearing a white shirt, Trish.
So will we see you tomorrow?
You want to be on the show tomorrow? Okay. She agreed. She'll be here tomorrow.
Charlie has a vet appointment.
What time?
Charlie has to go to the vet tomorrow.
Could we do it right at 8?
Oh.
Or do you want to postpone it to Virginia?
Charlie has to go to the vet.
I guess it'll be
tomorrow.
a game time decision. We'll see. He's got to go to the vet.
Charlie loves Mommy.
Is he getting more shots tomorrow? Yeah. Oh, poor Charles.
More shots.
He's getting more shots.
Poor puppy. We're talking about the pandemic and whether or not there's a survey about how, from Levi's, saying that many people have to go out and buy a different size jeans now after the pandemic, but some people have lost weight during the pandemic.
Or maybe none of this is true, and they're just saying that people need to buy more clothes because they've changed, so that they go out and buy more clothes. So everyone's like, "Wait, do I need to buy
really
new
need
jeans?
to buy new?
Maybe I need to buy new clothes."
That's what I was leading to when I said that I don't weigh myself anymore. Because I really, it's what I base it on as to whether or not I need to lose a few pounds or whatever is really how my clothes fit.
There you go. Yeah,
if
a lot of people say like that, or just how you look.
I mean, if suddenly...
Don't worry about the numbers. Look about how you look in the mirror. If
suddenly I'm putting my jeans on or a pair of pants, whatever, and they're snug, I'm like, ooh, need to lose a few. I don't know if it's because, we can get so locked into those numbers, Well,
because also...
Oh, my God, I'm 193.
Diane has a great point, though, that I started to read, and then Trish rudely interrupted. I'm just kidding. She said, it depends what time of day you get weighed sometimes, because my weight can fluctuate 4 pounds either way, up or down, within 15 hours
really?
or so.
And 4 pounds?
And that's, well, it's true because, it's based on, like what you eat. The best time to weigh yourself is in the morning before you eat anything. But, if you go to the doctor's, chances are you probably ate.
I think it was like 2 in the afternoon.
So you probably already ate breakfast and lunch. Yeah. It depends on other things we don't need to talk about.
No, we don't.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it does fluctuate. That's why the number is kind of. It's not really an accurate way to judge whether or not you're progressing or not. That's why a lot of people just say, like, with how satisfied you are with how you look.
All right.
Love yourself, man.
That's it.
Justin says Pete is this. I saw this before. This made me laugh. Justin said Pete is one Neuralink away from being a cyborg. Neuralink is, of course, the thing I mentioned about Elon Musk inventing that's going to be in people's brains to help with like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and stuff.
Okay.
But he said you're one Neuralink away from being a cyborg.
Yes.
Which I didn't mention when we were talking about that, but it's originally for those conditions and diseases, but it will probably get to a commercial aspect where people have it for entertainment reasons, but
I'm sure.
Maybe not in our lifetime.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, Gail says, "Yay, Trish is home. She's outside now." I would yell to her, but she's outside taking Charlie out. And then Abby said, "Hey guys, sorry I missed most of the show. Crazy morning, but I'll be watching the replay." There we go. That's the joyous thing. No offense to radio, but that's the joyous thing about not being on radio. You can watch it whenever you want. You can watch us. I don't know, on the toilet, whenever you want to watch us.
I always. That was one thing about the radios. Like, I always wanted, and this was when, podcasts really were not invented yet. but we were just getting websites and we were just starting to stream.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, is there a way we could put like the whole show, so that people in the afternoon or nighttime could listen to the morning show?
And I think oftentimes they you don't want that. You want everyone to be on the radio show. You want them to be at the one place because that's probably where you can make the money. But
that's
it's all
where
about connecting with people. And,
that's where you get the
giving
ratings.
them what they want to. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you go by ratings, but it's a new day and age.
Yeah. Well, back then
Just
we did.
saying.
Yeah, back then we did.
Let's see. Gail said, I quit weighing myself when I realized it was becoming a mood barometer. Like Pete, I see how my clothes fit and I stay in my happy little world. That's what it's all about.
Point.
If you're happy.
Because you can get so locked into those numbers. Like if your goal is to be, whatever. If your goal is to be 190, and you get on the scale in the morning and it says 193, I mean that bums you out. It's like, oh God,
and I mean
I'm
that's
gaining
like
weight.
That's like with anything in life though. Like social media. Like if you go by the numbers, it bums you out. Like you notice this when you start creating content. Is like, oh, this post got 100 likes and this post got 50 likes. I'm getting worse. But it's like, no, there's like so many outside factors. And that happens like, I don't know, like I make a cover of a song that I spend 10 minutes on and it gets 1,000 likes. And then I make a cover that I spend 3 days on and it gets 10. And it's like, God, people don't appreciate my hard work. But it's like, that's not what it's about at all. So numbers suck, man.
Yeah.
I have an accounting degree, and I'm here to tell you numbers suck. Kat says, at the doctor's, you also have your shoes on and clothes and maybe sweatshirts and coats, so that adds to your weight. That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
I feel like they used to. I don't know if they still do with shoes. I feel like they used to have you take your shoes off, but I don't know. I think you just go with shoes on nowadays.
Not this time. Yeah. That's a good point.
But yeah, so that's about weight.
All right. And I guess the last thing I had to bring up today was this great gift idea that I found yesterday.
Great is relative.
Okay. Yeah. I just happened to be scrolling through Twitter, and I came across what I think is the latest offering from Crocs.
I guess I'll put it up on screen. I'm sorry, everybody. What is that?
So there you go. Now, Priscilla, she has worn heels. I mean, there are times when we go out, she wears heels, but...
when we go out, what is going out?
Yeah, really.
What is going out nowadays?
But there you go with Crocs.
High heel Crocs.
High heel Crocs.
See, so that's a real thing. Like, that's actually produced.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That does not look like it would, be safe at all.
Wouldn't be safe.
Yeah,
I know it wouldn't be comfortable. You know what I saw the other day on TikTok?
What?
Your mother always talks about. Oh, it's on TikTok again.
Yeah.
High heels were, I guess, first designed for men.
Really?
If you go way back, and I'm talking like, who's a famous French, like King Louis or whatever. Way back in those days. High heels were a symbol of nobility, and they were worn.
Wow.
They were worn like by King Louis
Royalty.
or something like that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Glad that trend expired.
Hey, Trish, let's get your live opinion. Trish is here. She's cleaning up the pee.
Don't you love the honesty on this show? We tell you what's happening.
Exactly. Hey.
They're excited sprinkles. Charlie did not pee on the floor. He was just so excited to see Mom. He had excited sprinkles.
Oh my God. The question is, would you like Croc high heels?
Croc high heels?
Yes.
No, the whole
No.
point of Crocs is they're just so comfy.
I would just like the record to show.
By the way.
I would like the record to show that Pete said that was a great idea.
Croc high heels?
I'm being facetious. I thought it would be
know.
good for the show.
But the reason you're not getting it for Christmas is because I saved you, so you're welcome.
Well, thank you.
You're
she
welcome.
has rainbow Crocs on right now.
They're tie-dye.
But they're not.
Tie-dye.
They're not
Crocs.
high heels, though.
No,
is the thing.
Honestly, I think this is stupid.
Yeah, I know, I'm just kidding.
I just thought I'd bring it up today.
Let me see here. Dana says numbers suck in the mid. The medical field too. Would you agree? Numbers suck.
No, what numbers?
Well,
any numbers.
We're talking about just numbers in general. Like if I look at a picture and say I get 100 likes on my rhododendron picture, and then I put up a picture of Charlie and I only got 5, that would bum me out.
And also
the
with
numbers
weight, like how weight numbers fluctuate.
Yeah,
I said numbers suck in the accounting field. I said I'm an accountant and numbers suck. And Dana said in the medical field numbers suck.
In the medical field, numbers suck if you're dealing with patient weight, and it's a high number. That's when the number sucks.
There we go.
We're on the third
Just
floor.
full honesty.
Yeah, don't you love it?
And they
Gail,
can't walk.
Gail says, "Don't wear your Doc Martens to the doctor." Yeah, definitely not. That's probably like the heavy. That and Timberlands are probably the the heaviest shoe.
Imagine what your weight would be if you wore Timberlands to a physical.
Very light.
Abby Braley says, "Hi, Trish."
Oh, Abby.
She
It's not Trish.
she also said, "Next time I see Trish, I may excited sprinkle too. I miss her so much." She also says, "I miss you guys too." LOL.
But notice she misses me more.
That's true.
Oh,
She did put you first.
Yeah.
She did put you first. But yeah, that's where we're at.
Well, I guess we're just about wrapping up for today. My plans for today, I'm heading off to the metropolis of Hawthorne Medical because today I'm actually getting a cortisone shot for the tendonitis in my elbow,
Oh, I forgot that today.
which Trish has a thought?
Matt, do you want to take your shot?
No. See, I took him the last time, so
So-
I think it's your turn.
You know what
because
I
I
found
took him
out?
the last time.
You know what I...
The time before
Guys, don't argue,
But we're
okay?
switching off.
I'll call an Uber.
There we go.
Excellent.
But what happened was this tendonitis, I've had it for probably close to a year. I just couldn't get to the doctor. And I got this from picking up Liam
Yeah.
and from feeding Liam, this way when he was really a baby. And I'm going to see Dr. Beatty. Shout out Dr. Beatty.
Shouting out all the doctors today.
But they told me that that's very common in mothers. They're seeing mothers with tendonitis because of that issue.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I'm going to get a cortisone shot. And the reason they're talking about who can bring me is that I am still in the boot.
Every time you do that, I feel like you're going to tear your hamstring.
And I'm still in the boot because I guess I can't count.
Yeah. Well, he has to be in the boot for 14 days.
For 2 weeks, yeah.
And he was so excited this entire week.
I thought yesterday was my last day in the boot.
He was like, Thursday, I'm out of the boot. I'm out of the boot on Thursday. And I was like, hold up. I was like, give me a second. And I counted in my head. And I was like, no. Thursday is the 14th day. And I was like, so technically, you're still supposed to be in the boot today. And we were talking about this yesterday. If it was any other doctor that he was going to today, I'd be like, if you
take
don't
it
want to wear
off.
it, take
If
it
you're
off.
fine,
Whatever.
take
But
it
he's
off.
going to the doctor
That put me in the boot.
put him in the boot. So if there's anyone that's going to be like, hey, you're supposed to still be in that boot, it's him, and he would know.
Yeah.
Abby did say that she'll take you. Problem solved.
Oh, okay.
So,
Of course, Abby lives in Vermont.
yeah, so she's about 5 hours away.
Yeah.
So you might be a little late.
The appointment's at 11.
Yeah. Can you
so-
get here in 2 hours?
Yeah.
If you can get here in 2 hours, you got it. And Dana also said, awesome show, gents. Be safe.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
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 What's up for you today?
I have to debate whether I want to cut the grass today or tomorrow, but it has to get done before Virginia.
Yes, before we leave.
But I think tomorrow's supposed to be cooler.
Really?
But I was outside earlier today and it wasn't that bad, so we'll
Yeah.
see.
All right.
We'll see.
The other thing we have today is that we are going to be, because of his schedule, we couldn't do it this morning, but we're going to be interviewing on Zoom Dean DeVore. And if you're saying, who's that? Dean was a part of and a big part of the morning show for years when I was on BSM. And Dean is a meteorologist.
Meteorologist.
Thank you.
Yes.
With AccuWeather. And he's a fascinating guy because, number one, he does the weather forecast for the whole he's on KMOX in St. Louis, 1010 Winds in New York, WBZ in Boston, and quite a few others. Every morning he's on all those shows.
Busy guy.
Yep. And he's also the stadium announcer for Penn State football. I think he handles quite a few sports at Penn State. I know he does volleyball and all that. So he's just he's a good friend, and he's really knows a lot about weather. So I thought maybe I could ask him what kind of summer are we going to have, what he thinks about the hurricane season, just so anyway, we're scheduled to talk to him this afternoon, and if all goes well, we'll share that with you tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, actually, we have Feel Good Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I have some stories, including one of our viewers sent me a Feel Good Friday story.
Oh, there we go.
Something they did last weekend. So we have that tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have Trish on the show for a little segment.
We'll see.
Before she has to
She made me nervous with her answer today, so I don't. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I have to get her hyped up for it.
Yeah.
We'll do a little bit of media training.
And well, how about we were going to have a clip from the vault today, but the clip he wants to use evidently has something to do with Trish.
Yeah.
So we asked if we could hold that off till tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is.
We got a busy show tomorrow.
I guess so.
We got to fit this all into an hour-ish. Maybe we'll go over. We'll
Yeah.
see.
The show has turned out, it's funny, every day we think, well, if we get, 30, 45 minutes, we'll be fine.
And how the process works is like he makes the outline, and I just kind of like read it over the night before just to kind of get an idea on what we're talking about, and so I can have pictures and stuff ready. And like every night I kind of like, this is probably like a 45-minute show. Some mornings I'm like, this is definitely an hour-long show. But like certain shows, like I know yesterday I was like, it's probably like a 30-minute show. I was like, but that's all right. We can go 30 minutes. That's not a problem. And then we get going, and
Wasn't it like an hour and 10?
Somehow we always end up between an hour and 10 minutes. I don't know how, but it always ends up right at that time.
It's a feel. I get a feel for
We're
it.
professionals.
I guess so.
I have zero experience in the field, but I'm a professional. Thank you.
Well, you have experience now.
There we go.
All right, we leave you with a thought for the day for today, and that thought is, success only happens when we stop complaining about what we don't have and start appreciating what we do have while we work for what we want.
There we go.
All right? Success only happens when we stop complaining about what we don't have and start appreciating what we do have while we work for what we want.
Amen.
I did read something the other day. It was, one of those to have success, do this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was to challenge yourself to not complain for, I think it was for a month.
It's
But
tough.
If you could try, don't complain about anything for a week, and see
Yeah.
what happens. Could you do it?
I feel like it's a crutch we often use.
Yeah.
It makes understanding things that happen to us easier, not necessarily more helpful though.
Yeah.
Complaining is like the easy thing we can do. When something doesn't go our way, we can just complain about it instead of trying to fix it.
I was wondering if I
progress.
was going to bring this up, but why not?
Okay.
The other day, I'm at that age where I have plenty of prescriptions, and they're in a drawer. And I don't know how many meds I take a day, but getting refills and stuff like that. My medicine drawer was getting all messed up. There were bottles and everything in there. So Mom went and she told me I rearranged your medicine. I combined bottles and so everything looks neater. So I went into the drawer before bed the other night, and everything was out of order because I put them in order. I have the morning meds, then I have the evening. Well, things were all messed up. So I went and I rearranged them. And I was going to give your mother a hard time. I was going to say, thanks for messing up my order. But then I thought, why? Why?
She was just trying to help, man.
Yeah, she's just, what am I going to accomplish by saying, you messed up?
Yeah.
I just fixed it the way I liked it and moved on.
Me and her do have an agreement, though. She tried to rearrange my room one time. we beefed hard about that. And from this point forward, she doesn't really. But also, I don't really have a messy room, so there's no reason now for her to do anything. But we have an agreement. She never tries to move.
I would not rearrange your room without asking you.
It wasn't anything bad, but I used to have a desk and a TV stand, and I never really sat at the desk. This was like pre-music, and I'm convinced everyone that buys a desk to do homework never uses the desk.
No.
In my experience, that was how it was.
Yep.
But so she like did this thing where she put my TV stand under my desk and like put my TV on the desk, and no offense, I don't know if she's out there. Oh, she just walked away, so I don't know if she heard. But it was stupid, and I was so mad. I was like, why? Like what? Like I didn't even ask for this to happen. I just came home from school one day and this happened. So we have an agreement. She doesn't rearrange my room.
There you go.
Yeah.
So make that a goal today. All right. Don't complain about anything.
I don't wanna. That's stupid.
That's a stupid idea.
Yeah, that's a stupid idea.
Have a great day. All right. We're out of here, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8:00. All right.
Yeah.
Make it a great day.
Peace.